Hi, I'm Graham. Welcome back to Manvfilm. It's a Blu Ray review, this time for Deadtime Stories, released by 88 Films. This is a horror anthology movie that I had never heard of before in my life. I love the title of it, Deadtime Stories. It's simple, to the point, letting you know a little bit about the movie and what it's about. This first pressing comes with this slip cover. The cover inside is much the same. This is the 88 Vault number 8. Comes with a booklet, the first print cover, the first print run as well. And let's just dive into the sort of story of this movie. It is basically, like most anthology movies, it has very thin framework round about it, just connecting the stories together. But you have this guy who's looking after a child. He just wants to sit and watch TV. The kid keeps waking up and he has to keep telling them bedtime stories, but he doesn't seem to have any kind of decorum or common sense whatsoever, and starts to tell these horrific tales to the kid, which are variations of typical fairy tales that we've seen before. You get Red Riding Hood in one of them, you get Goldilocks and the Three Bears in another one. It's these kind of things. It's got 3 stories, and that's basically the interlocking material between it. Stories themselves are all a different tone to what I expected. I was expecting more deep horror, where it's not. It's more playful, fun, with a little bit of tongue-in-cheek. Definitely a lot on the gore and the practical effects. The first one is basically about 2 witches that are trying to get their third witch, their sister who's died, back from the dead by doing horrible things to get ingredients for a potion. This tale is really well shot. It's some nice sequences in it. One where the witches are seducing a man, which shows you his hallucination, and what's actually happening is really fun and gross. Probably the pinnacle of this story is the third witch coming back to life, and the reanimation of her heart into her body, and it is fantastically delightful. It is gory, grotesque, bloody, visceral. It is stunning to watch just play out on the screen. I could have sat and watched that for 5 minutes. It's just so intricate work with the special effects team. It's just masterful. And well, I won't spoil the story for you, but it does go back and just reiterate that this is stories that a man's telling, because the kid doesn't like the end. He goes back and just changes it, and we jump back in and see a different ending to the tale. The second storyline is Little Red Riding Hood, but it's given a modern day spin on it. It's a young girl who is obviously wearing red, gets medication mixed up with this guy in a chemist's, and it turns out the guy needed it to knock himself out because he is a werewolf, and he's trying to get it back from her grandmother. It's a really nice twist on that kind of tale you've seen before, with some, again, absolutely fantastic special effects, especially from the man who's becoming a werewolf, as he rips open his shirt and his heart is almost kind of pulsating out of his chest. Again, this one's a little bit more straight-laced than possibly the first, and definitely the third one. And it was one that I really did quite enjoy. Once I kind of figured out where it was going, I really liked the aspects of what it was bringing up. It's tongue-in-cheek, it had the horrific moments, and it's probably the most scary-ish one of the 3 of the stories. The third story, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, feels very much more comical, more tongue-in-cheek, more just played for laughs, as it has these young actors portraying old people. You have Father Bear, Mother Bear, Baby Bear. That's Bear is their second name. This is a family that likes to rob, maim, kill and hunt people, and they stumble across Goldilocks, who happens to be a telekinetic badass as well. They just kind of throw everything and the kitchen sink into this story, and again, it's very fun, especially in the performances in this one. I think it's a lot played for humour, a lot of it's played for laughs, and I think it works and it's genuinely fun. Even the makeup and the voice acting of the younger actors who are portraying older people, it doesn't look overly realistic, but it feels like they're just giving it their all. It feels as if they're really going for it, and that kind of enthusiasm comes through on the movie, and I found myself enjoying this segment a lot. In fact, I enjoyed the movie a whole lot. It wasn't one that I knew anything about going into, but it's one that won me over with the enthusiasm that the filmmakers obviously had, the sheer gusto in which they attack the special effects and make them stand out moments in the movie. It is tremendous. There's moments in here that Anybody that likes kind of practical effects, gore, blood, whatever, you're going to find a couple of things here that are just jaw-dropping, fantastic sequences all in. I really like Deadtime Stories. It's a movie that I can see me throwing on a lot and just checking out. Quick 90 minutes, 3 stories, all fun. And the disc does have some good extras in it as well. It's got a commentary by Jeffrey Delman, the director, who's obviously really excited to be having this out on a fantastic Blu Ray because it's a really good transfer, as you see from some of the extras himself. It's a great transfer. The director is all through the extras just talking about things. He seems super excited and it comes across, and there is some valuable information in amongst the commentary as well. There is an interview with Jeffrey Delman which is called I Like the Grotesque, and it's a 16-minute piece where he's just talking about various aspects of making the movie, and it's fairly interesting. And again, his enthusiasm really does shine through as he's talking about this film. There's deleted scenes, well, 2 deleted scenes, and again, Jeffrey's back once more to give you intros into these 2 deleted scenes, which, as usual, you can understand why they've been deleted and changed or manipulated in some way, shape or form. There is trailers, there is a still gallery, and then there is the Black Forest segment. That is the first story, which is kind of stretched into like a half hour. There's bits added to it, and again, he's got an intro by Jeffrey. He's back once more, just talking about this was stretched into like a 30-minute, almost short kind of feature, in case they wanted to raise money for something else, in case the movie wasn't going to pan out, they weren't going to get the funds to finish it. And it's interesting, but I do prefer the one that's actually in the movie itself, a kind of shut down, condensed version of this story time. I just feel it runs a lot better. I'm quite happy with this disc. This is one that's going to sit proudly in my collection. I loved the movie, thought it was fun. Definitely a product of its time. I love those practical effects. I think they're fantastic. I love the transfer, especially when you look at the trailers. And this is something that I always go to on these discs whenever I get them, because the trailers are usually not remastered or handled in any way. So you get to see kind of the raw footage which is out there. And then when you watch that compared to the movie, you see the amount of work that's went into these discs and how well it really looks. Deadtime Stories, great. If you like horror anthology movies, I think you're going to love this. If you like gore, practical effects, you're going to love this. Like I said, it's out now from 88 Films. You can get your hand on this slipcase and booklet if you're one of the first ones to get the first print run of it. I'd love to know your thoughts on the movie if you've seen it. And if you have seen it, let me know what your favourite segment is. And I'll see you next time on Man vs Film.